Hey everyone, it's Lily here at AIBC. I'm joined by Aleksander, the CEO of xremit.io. Thank you so much for being here. You are our speaker, and also I get to have a little chit chat with you. So why don't you explain a little bit about xremit.io and how you're leveraging blockchain technology in order to increase speeds and be part of your business?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you. xremit is a remittance company that utilizes the blockchain technology, and we actually saw that there is a need and gap in remittance and effective off-ramping. So effectively, we were looking for technology that would be seamless and that would allow access to those emerging markets effectively by being able to do those payouts that are seamless and that can reach different geographies. So how we utilize that is that we utilize, of course, blockchain technology in terms of remittance. So for faster settlements, there's no surprise that crypto is used for cross-border payments, and not just by retail sector, but also for international trading companies that trade commodities. And that's sort of what's happening in the background. But the technology that we developed is actually allows for off-ramping, so to go from crypto into cards. And we were looking for a best possible solution, and we found that prepaid cards is that piece of a puzzle that makes it a very compelling solution across the board, and especially in emerging markets. Why so? I would say that is because of characteristics of the project. You have you could say, a downside to that product in the sense that you cannot top it up, and that actually this card, after you spend it, basically you need to get another one. It has also expiry. So you could think of it as a voucher, right? And like a gift card essentially. But those cards that we have, like Visa and MasterCard, the idea of those cards is that despite all of this, like you could say, limitations to the product, there are some upsides. So there is relaxed KYC on those cards up to a comfortable threshold because of how regulators view this product. But also there is essentially a discount on those cards. And we don't service retail segment. It's a B2B solution, but once we integrate our API, we're effectively splitting this discount with the platform that integrates our solution, so that most importantly, that for the end user can purchase this card at no fees. And that's very compelling offer because you have families like across the world who are remitting like some smaller amounts, and of course like fees sometimes is a deal breaker, and they can make a big difference, especially like they can make actually a big difference. So our cards can be connected to Apple Pay and Google Pay, but most importantly is that there are no fees, and actually this structure allows even for some bonuses if let's say our partners decide to do so, and other incentives actually to instead of just having fees.
Amazing. I mean, as someone that's been in crypto quite a while now, I have to say off-ramping is probably one of the most frustrating things. And we like to deny that we don't ever take our money out of crypto, but sometimes we want to. I get paid in crypto, and there's moments where I have bills to pay and I need to off-ramp. My landlord won't accept even USDT. Damn him. So I have to find ways around it. And I guess that is the challenge internationally. You're going to also have that different countries still don't want to be very flexible in adopting crypto. So what are your main markets that you're working around, or is it something you can do internationally?
Yeah, so again, this is one of the, when we're looking for most effective way of off-ramping, we looked at it holistically. And of course, the global reach was one of the main factors that we looked into, because that cards currently we can issue in, at this point, more than 130 countries. And because those countries, because can be issued all around the world, that that gives us like a very good head start. In fact, what's interesting to me is that once we talk to those companies that actually specialize in those debit cards, many times we still find that this product is somehow complementary, because even though their product, let's say, has ability to for clients to top up, and after KYC, they can top up and use it like on large balances. But still, with our product, the fact that it is available in many countries allows them to test. As I noticed, it allows them to actually test the market. And once they see that, let's say there is big demand in Philippines, for example, they can decide, okay, it makes sense for us to actually get licensed there and to proceed with, operation there. But overall, global reach is something that is very good for this card. And they are, after they're issued, they're pretty much accepted everywhere where MasterCard and Visa are accepted. And moreover, they can be, of course, like linked to Apple Pay and Google Pay, and one can use it, which makes it a compelling product, for example, in Africa region, because in Africa we find that there's some difficulty sometimes to get bank accounts, and a lot of people actually use other alternative systems, like let's say M-Pesa, where you just pass telephone minutes to each other. But it's still, there is a problem of off-ramping, right? To actually being able to just pay for your coffee. So I think that this piece of the puzzle allows you to solve a lot of day-to-day tasks, as well as allow some families to save on those fees as well.
Wow. Yeah, it's so exciting how useful this can be, especially for regions that don't have access to bank accounts, which was one of the main reasons when crypto was beginning, was really to be there banking the unbanked. So I think what you're doing is really incredible. And with so many new trends as well, we have AI trend, we have DeFi, people, it comes and it goes, but everyone gets excited. Then you're going to have more pressure really on the importance of remittance, because if people are generating passive incomes, they're using their AI agents potentially. I think more people then become more reliant on what you're doing. I guess that's exciting as well. You can see these trends potentially really blossoming.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we can see that in terms of remittance, like the blockchain technology is used a lot, but it's kind of like we have a proof of concept that obviously, like stable coins especially, can be used for cross-border remittance, settlements, international trade. But in terms of trade trends, I would say that the demand, as adoption increases, as you mentioned, like because there's way more adoption, what's the next step, right? The next step is to be able to utilize this crypto despite regulation, which we see in many countries being strengthened. But overall, there are some trends, especially especially in Africa and LATAM, where those cross-border payments now tend to be for like a smaller amount. And also, interestingly, sometimes whoever remits the money wants to have some sort of control on what these cards can be spent on, right? Therefore, we have not only open loop cards, so-called, such as Visa and MasterCard, but also closed loop cards, which you can only spend, let's say, in, McDonald's, Netflix, as well as, like gaming, like Roblox or Steam, right? So to some extent, you can also control it. And we found that, for example, when someone, let's say there is a family in Nigeria and their son goes to study to UK, right? And says, like I was speaking recently, and this example was brought up, is that sometimes just parents want to make sure like what kids are up to, and what are they spending it on. So that's maybe one of the other.
Yeah, the students out there that are going crazy and just spending too much of their parents' money. And here we are in Dubai as well. So obviously this is the land of innovation. How are you finding people being very perceptive to crypto for one here, which it's obvious it's becoming such a huge trend, but how then is it really important, more so than ever, that they have this opportunity to off-ramp? Because I hear so many friends actually and some crazy guys that have created meme coins, made millions, and they have no way of off-ramping that money. It's like they need to buy property in crypto to then sell the property to... I'm probably giving away too much of their what they get up to. But why is here in Dubai is it's so important to be able to do that.
Wow, your friend circle is interesting. But yeah, well, in Dubai, of course, what we all like about Dubai and UAE as a whole is that they try to be progressive and proactive in terms of regulation, and they try to let the technology strive. So there are some regulatory sandboxes where, and there are some government initiatives which help with funding and so on, to actually implement the Web3, to implement those, this kind of environment that would allow those tech startups to thrive. But as a whole, we already see the results, I would say, of this initiatives, because not only there are a lot of business-minded people, but there are a lot of use cases here which happened for the first time, because Emirates and Dubai is quite unique case, because there's a lot of expats here, and honestly, most of my friend circle are like expats and people who work here, and remittance, of course, becomes like such a big issue. But in UAE, I would say that the initiatives and legal framework is very favorable, and there's a lot of startups we can see that allow for different sort of remittances. But we, as a B2B solution, we are, of course, like welcoming that. We don't see any of that as competition, because we don't service a retail segment directly, but rather we are happy to see that, because that's potentially our partners that could implement our solution to allow for one of the ways of off-ramping into prepaid cards that also work in UAE. But back to question about your friend. I would say we can't help him or her directly, but what we could do is give a tip who we integrated with our white label solution, and maybe this could somehow help.
Amazing. Thank you so much for chatting with me. Thank you for being here at AIBC. I really, really enjoyed this conversation. So enjoy your time here. Thank you.